Now we are ready to make another test call and see what happens. Let's dial a number in the US.
This call is not covered by your tariff plan.
The voice error announcement we got is that this call is not covered by your tariff plan. Let's check the logs to understand what has just happened. I've already mentioned that all call attempts that PortaSIP receives are stored in logs, even those that are failed attempts. Let's go back to our web interface and go to Toolbox, Trace Session. This is our test call that we've made from test SIP account, and this is the number that we've dialed. I can also filter calls by CLI. I can type in test SIP here, for example, or increase the time interval if I need to. Say we want to see all calls for the last 60 minutes. And now let's click the link icon for details. We can see that the invite was sent, but the authorization was rejected with an error message that reads call number blocked. I tried calling an American number, but according to our practical task, only calls to Ukraine and EU were allowed. And this is why we didn't add any rates to the US, but of course we already knew this. But we could see once again how useful voice error announcements by PortaSIP are. And now let's make a third attempt to a Spanish number that is allowed in our tariff. Let's dial a number. I'm going to pick up. The call has been established, but let's go to Toolbox and check our active sessions. Active sessions show calls in progress. We see that the duration is 45 seconds. If we refresh, we see that the duration has increased, so the call is ongoing. I'm going to hang up now. Let's use our bookmark to open our Easy Call customer. Now we see that the customer's balance has changed. It's no longer $11. It has decreased for the amount of charge for the last call. Let's check the xDRs and understand how the call was charged. So I go to the XDR browser. I select a date, for example, a couple of weeks ago to make sure all my test calls are included, if they should be included. And I go to voice calls here. Okay, and I'm going to filter the XDRs by the outgoing account, test SIP. Apply filters. Okay, we've made a total of 4 test calls. One of them I haven't shown because it was a successful call, but my phone was in the airplane mode. This is the call here. So with this, a total of 2 successful and 2 failed calls were made from this account. Why can't we see the failed attempts here? XDRs are stored in the border billing and they are generated only for those calls that were successfully authorized. As long as the call was authorized, even if the called party didn't pick up, an XDR is generated. Calls that were not authorized due to insufficient funds, for example, or non-existent rate in the tariff do not generate XDRs. There is no need to clutter the database with unnecessary details. If we check our last successful call XDR, then we're going to see that the call duration was 1 minute 20 seconds and the charge amount was 4 cents. If we need even more details about the rating formula, we can click Details. And here we also see the duration and the formula. We were charged for 80 intervals of 1 second and 3 cents a minute. If we need further details about how the call was processed, we can click this log icon here. It shows us everything that happened both on PortaSIP and on PortaBilling side. We can activate the advanced view here, and decide which logs we want to see, SIP or billing. We can see them one under the other, and all the details are here.